It's time to eat.
What are you hungry for?
Sit down and get ready to consume an abundance of fantasy football knowledge from Ross Tucker and Joe Dolan.
Feed me now. I'm starving.
On the Fantasy Feast Eatin' Podcast.
Yeah, let's eat, baby. It is the Fantasy Feast Eatin' Podcast presented by DraftKings, the best 30 minutes of on-demand audio and video, youtube.com/Ross Tucker NFL. Related to fantasy football, you will get each and every week. We're getting closer and closer to Joe's tiers, which are very popular. Tiers of Dolan. Cannot wait in August when we go through that. We also, starting next week, will start to let you know about the best ball drafts against me and Joe. I'm Ross Tucker, former NFL offensive lineman that greatly enjoys not only playing fantasy football, but fantasy analysts. They're psychos. They've got the disease. They've got the sickness. They live and breathe this thing all day, every day, like our guy, Joe Dolan, at FG_Dolan, the fantasy gangster from fantasypoints.com. Just use the code 21Feast. There is not a single fantasy website I'm aware of that has more employees, more contributors than fantasypoints.com. When are you guys going to hire me, Joe, to be your O-line guy? Do you already have an O-line guy?
Actually, as a matter of fact, Ross, I was asked by somebody just this week about who's your O-line expert on the site. And I'm like, well, we kind of just, that's one of the things that we maybe we're missing something. Hey, Ross, talk to me after the show.
All right. Well, look,
talk to me after the show.
I can send you my rankings. We can do it that way. That'd be awesome. By the way, Joe, you know I love you. Yeah. You're not looking great. Now, number one, we're recording this earlier than we normally do.
Yeah.
And number two, I cannot believe, and we're going to get into the Julio Jones trade from both the Titans' perspective, the Falcons' perspective for fantasy. We got to talk Jamison Crowder. We even got to talk about some of these mini camp reports on certain skill guys. I can't believe they choked again, Joe. I mean, knowing you're a Sixers fan, I just have to bring it up. I cannot believe they blew it again. The last 3 nights have been the worst 3 consecutive nights of basketball watching in my entire life.
Yeah, I mean, everybody's getting hurt in the NBA, and I'm getting hurt. Ross, I have a terrible hangover right now. The Evan Williams was pouring last night. I stick to the cheap stuff when I'm watching basketball because of the chances that I'm going to drink a lot of it. Ross, I didn't even have my first one until the second half, and I opened it as a celebratory drink. And Ross, I'm just so entirely sick of it. The series isn't over. I understand that, but when there's an NBA All-Star, and I'm not naming names here, who gets a standing ovation for performing basic basketball tasks, sometimes at some point I just get frustrated. I was not a particularly great basketball player, and my mom would tell me it was because I was way too timid, and I agree with that. When I was playing sports when I was growing up, I was super timid. If I could do it all over again, I would just be way more aggressive. But one thing I would never be is a good free throw shooter. I'm a terrible free throw shooter. And I remember in 8th grade, I was playing for St. James CYO, and we were playing at Holy Family Gym, and I got fouled late in the game, and I made 2 free throws. And the cheerleaders, the St. James cheerleaders did a Joe rocks the house, because the cheerleaders knew I was a bad free throw shooter. And this was me in 8th grade, and I have zero athleticism. And when a crowd of 18,000 people needs to give somebody standing ovation for making a couple of free throws, I mean, give me a break. Ross. The series isn't over. I might be fair weather the next couple of games. If things are looking good, maybe I'll flip the game on. But I can't put myself mentally through that. I can't put my liver through that. I'm feeling like crap today. So yeah, there we go.
It's so funny, Joe, because my favorite team is my high school. and I follow along, but they usually win, my high school football team. Other than that, like college and the NFL, that's my profession, so I don't really cheer or like get that into it. I would say the team that means the most next to that is the Sixers, probably. Like I care. I when the Sixers are good, I like watching them, and it's painful. Like it is painful. And then I hate the Nets too. So the last 3 nights have been so painful for me. I hate everything about the Nets. I don't like their players. I don't like their fake fans. I don't like the super team aspect and how they put them together. It's been the 3 worst nights that I can remember in a long time, which is why I'm glad to talk fantasy football, Joe, with you here on the Fantasy Feast podcast. Major fantasy implications of the Julio Jones trade. We did not talk about it last week because we had recorded that show earlier because I was at the beach with my family. So let's dive into it. Let's start with the Titans, and let's start with Julio Jones.
Yeah.
Is this a good spot for him with run-heavy Derrick Henry, with A.J. Brown? What does this do for Julio first?
Well, first and foremost, Ross, he's going at around the 4th round right now, and I think that's overall fair for Julio Jones. I do. The volume is going to go down for Julio Jones. We know that, but you hope that he makes up for it with efficiency. And now he's never been a touchdown scorer, but you think he's going to maybe come in there and replicate what Corey Davis did last year. In their 15 games together last year, Corey Davis averaged 6.5 targets while A.J. Brown averaged 7.8. I think Julio Jones can do some damage on 6.5 to 7 targets per game. And you would think that getting Julio Jones, look, I understand Corey Davis had a breakout year. Julio Jones is now 32. But when you look at this trade from the Titans' perspective, I still have a hard time saying that Julio Jones isn't better than Corey Davis. You know, yes, the injuries have been a problem, but he still plays at a higher level than Corey Davis has. And our guy Graham Barfield came up with a really good article on fantasypoints.com, but he pointed out that according to Sports Info Solutions, in 2020, Julio ranked in 4th in yards gained per route run, and he was first, 2nd, and 5th in the 5 seasons prior to last year. So he is still playing at a very high level. Per Sports Info Solutions, he was 4th in expected points added per target when he saw throws of 15 or more yards downfield. The only guys better than that on deep throws last year were Curtis Samuel, Emmanuel Sanders, and Justin Jefferson. So Julio Jones is still an elite deep threat. And I kind of think that's what he's going to be for the Titans. You know, I know Calvin Ridley is there in Atlanta, and Calvin Ridley is kind of taken over as the number 1 from what that we look at from a fantasy perspective, but he's got a different kind of receiver opposite him now in A.J. Brown. A.J. Brown is a true alpha dog X. It allows Julio to be moved around. I think they'll move him around. I think they'll move Brown around a little bit. Remains to be seen if they're going to go with a primary slot receiver, if they're going to play 12 personnel in Tennessee. But I just think they are looking at this as a trade that makes their offense more explosive. Julio's ADP is fair. Before the trade, it was 44th overall, which is late 4th round. I think he's probably going to stick in that range, go into the 5th round. I think there was a lot of consideration that he might be traded built into that. I'm in on Julio for best ball formats because while his volume is going to go hugely down. I mean, Atlanta in the Julio Jones, Matt Ryan era, especially in the recent half decade or so, has been one of the most pass-heavy teams in the entire NFL, if not the most pass-heavy. That's going down, but I think Julio provides a lot of best ball value at his current price, and especially since, you know, there's not the pressure on him to be the 10, 11, 12 target a game guy that he was in Atlanta.
What does it mean for A.J. Brown and Josh Reynolds in your mind?
Well, Josh Reynolds gets buried. I still think Josh Reynolds, by the way, can play the slot effectively, but you still wonder if Tennessee is going to be a predominant 12 personnel team. Think now Greg Cosell pointed this out to me. The new offensive coordinator there, Downing, he comes from an 11 personnel background. You know, Scott Linehan is a predominant 11 personnel. So I expect they're going to mix that in a little bit more, but they could still run kind of 11 personnel concepts by putting Anthony Ferkser, who's almost exclusively a receiver into the slot. So I wonder if they're going to have kind of a modified 11 personnel with Jeff Swaim as a blocking tight end, or are you going to use Josh Reynolds out of the slot? It's not like Josh Reynolds isn't going to play snaps, but he is now, he was one of my favorite values as kind of a 13th, 14th round pick if Tennessee didn't make this move. But unfortunately, I think if you were invested early in Josh Reynolds, I think you realized just as well as Tennessee did that Tennessee needed to make this move. It was a move Tennessee needed to do. You want to be a Super Bowl contender, going to the championship game a couple years ago. Derrick Henry is in his prime. Ryan Tannehill is in his prime. A.J. Brown is in his prime. You look at this offense as one that really needs to take the next step, and this was a trade that needed to be made. Josh Reynolds was not moving the needle for me as somebody to make that offense better. He's now more of a last round or two type of pick for me.
A.J. Brown?
Yeah, he moved down just a couple of spots in my best ball rankings. I moved him behind Calvin Ridley. I think you can move him behind another guy or two, DeAndre Hopkins. I think I had him at wide receiver 4, maybe even wide receiver 3 prior to the trade. To me, he's still a top half wide receiver 1, one of the top 6 guys. He's a second round pick, but maybe if you were having trouble breaking the tie between him and a Stephon Diggs, or if you were having trouble breaking the tie between him and a DeAndre Hopkins, then maybe this breaks that tie for you because the volume isn't a whole lot in Tennessee. 7.8 targets per game for A.J. Brown in games he played with Corey Davis last year. You think he's probably going to take a little bit of an efficiency hit based on where he was, but I still view A.J. Brown as a firm second-round pick in best ball right now.
What about Tannehill? Well, let's start with there. What about Tannehill?
Yeah, I moved him up pretty high. And here's another aspect. Our guy Wes Huber does a really good job analyzing coverage shells and how they affect for fantasy. Ryan Tannehill over the past couple seasons has been arguably the single best quarterback against cover 3, which is the predominant coverage shell in the NFL. Julio Jones and A.J. Brown have also been 2 of the 3 best wide receivers at producing against cover 3. So this is a team that is going to absolutely slaughter against that kind of coverage shell. I think Tannehill's efficiency goes up. I moved him past Matthew Stafford in my rankings. If you're not getting one of those sexy running quarterbacks, even like going down to and including Jalen Hurts, Ryan Tannehill is firmly one of my favorite quarterback targets, but he's moving up in the world when it comes to draft position. He's firmly in my top 10 at the quarterback position right now.
Any impact on Derrick Henry, Joe?
Yeah. It's great for Derrick Henry. Now the volume might go down, but are you putting 8 in the box against A.J. Brown and Julio Jones? Because I'm not. So I think this is a really good development for Derrick Henry. Again, the volume is going to go down, but I think you might look at Derrick Henry and say, well, of course the volume is going to go down. You just can't keep feeding a guy 300 or more targets. I think it's good news for Derrick Henry. I just think the Titans are going to look a little bit different. I have him as my RB3. Maybe this even opens up some screen game action for him in the underneath area. I just think that the efficiency is going to be there for Derrick Henry. All in all, I think it's a really good move for the Titans from a fantasy perspective. I like it for fantasy. It improves Tannehill. I think it's fair for Julio because now I think he's getting drafted at a fair spot. If he got traded to San Francisco or New England, his ADP would have gotten boosted, in my opinion. His ADP might go down from where it is now as that kind of mid to late 4th round pick. In New England, that thing would have risen, and I would have been way out on Julio. I'm in on Julio at that price. A.J. Brown's going to dip a little bit, but I still think he can be efficient. This is once again, Ross, we use that term, a narrow fantasy team. This is a narrow team. There's going to be, you're going to have A.J. Brown and Julio sucking up most of the targets. Henry's going to get all the carries. Ryan Tannehill's going to be efficient. The guy who it hurts is a late round guy like Josh Reynolds. I think it hurts Anthony Ferkser a little bit, but people weren't really drafting Ferkser as anything more than a low end tight end 1, and in most instances tight end 2. I think he's still in that tight end 2 range somewhere I'm willing to dabble. But all in all for Tennessee, I think it's a pretty good fantasy move, and it just raises the ceiling of the offense as a whole.
Let's get to Atlanta. What's the impact on this for Calvin Ridley?
Well, the impact for Calvin Ridley is to the moon. I mean, he's going late first, early second round. I can't argue with that. He's a guy he's one of the best route runners in football. He's going to continue to get open. Now maybe he sees fewer double coverage, but here's the thing about Calvin Ridley. People are like, oh, Julio, they're gonna focus on Ridley and they're gonna take him away. Well, listen to Calvin Ridley's game logs without Julio Jones over the last 2 seasons. 8 for 91 on 10 targets. 5 for 110 on 13 targets. 8 for 136 on 10 targets. 6 for 50 yards and a touchdown on 9 targets. 8 for 124 and a touchdown on 12 targets. 10 for 163 and a touchdown on 14 targets. 5 for 130 on 9 targets. 8 for 52 on 12 targets. The worst fantasy performance, the worst, for Calvin Ridley over the last 2 seasons without Julio Jones in the lineup is 13.2 fantasy points in a PPR. So Calvin Ridley has produced when Julio Jones is out of the lineup. So we're at fantasy points. We have Ridley at wide receiver 4. I think you can make an argument for as high as wide receiver 2. I mean, I know it's a new coaching staff with Arthur Smith, but you look at the defense, you look at the personnel that Atlanta has. Arthur Smith cannot run the same offense he ran in Tennessee. Mike Davis isn't handling that kind of workload in the backfield. Calvin Ridley is a solid bet to lead the NFL targets at this stage.
Who else is greatly impacted in Atlanta?
If you were thinking you could sneak Kyle Pitts into like the 7th round of your draft, forget about it. I mean, Ross, I've done drafts where I've seen him go in the 4th round now. I mean, Kyle Pitts is consistently going to be going off the board as a top 5 tight end. He's not going to slip past that in sharp drafts. I understand it. I mean, at this point, I would almost think you're foolish if you don't project him to have the best rookie season by a tight end of all time, given the talent and the available targets. I mean, the guy, the ceiling is through the moon. The problem is you have to pay for him to be an outlier. I would rather pay for him to be an outlier than say, oh, I think the guy is going to stink because I think the ladder is just flat stupid. The question is, how high are you willing to pay? And right now, it might be uncomfortable for people to take a guy like Kyle Pitts 2 rounds before somebody like Mark Andrews or Dallas Goedert is coming off the board. And I think that's a completely fair reason to be skeptical because there are really good tight end options, even in the back half of those tight end ones who are going at a much cheaper cost than Kyle Pitts. But if you want an impact player and you're like, this team's going to have to throw the football and you buy in on Kyle Pitts, I'm not going to blame you. I'm just telling you, you got to pay up because he is getting drafted as if he is going to have the best rookie season for a tight end of all time.
What about your boy Russell Gage?
Yeah, Russell Gage was really consistent last year. I moved him into my top 100 players overall. I just wonder if Russell Gage now at this point is somebody who is going to struggle to, make an impact when he's the clear number 2 receiver in the offense right now. I mean, look at that depth chart behind Calvin Ridley, Ross. It is not pretty. Russell Gage, you have Olamide Zaccheaus, who is kind of a deep threat. He's one of my favorite late round best ball guys now. They have Frank Darby from Arizona State, who was a 6th round rookie. You have Christian Blake, who sounds like a poet laureate from the 1830s. So you're looking at guys on this depth chart who really don't have a whole lot of pedigree. Russell Gage is in my top 100 overall players. I like him as a wide receiver 4, wide receiver 5. You might view him as a boring option. Maybe, as a matter of fact, maybe somebody like Russell Gage is nice to pair in a wide receiver group in best ball with somebody like a Julio, who you feel is probably going to have a few blow-up games. I'm not sure Gage is going to have blow-up games, but I just expect him to be peppered with targets, much in the same way like somebody like Jamison Crowder was last year.
Let's get to the New York Jets. Before we do, by the way, how about the fact, I don't know if you can still get it, but right now, DraftKings Sportsbook, if you use the promo code Ross, they're giving you 100-1 odds on Bryson DeChambeau getting a birdie during the tournament this weekend. Like, they're kind of giving you $100. Like he's going to get at least one birdie. What are we doing here?
It is the U.S. Open, Ross, though. You know, they make those conditions tough.
He'll get at least one. I mean, come on. The way he hits the ball, he's going to look, he might get some bogeys too, but he's going to get a birdie. So put $1 on Bryson DeChambeau, watch him have a birdie, get $100, use the code Ross. That's how you do it. How do the Jets do it when it comes to throwing the football, Joe? Crowder reworked his contract.
Mm-hmm.
I did not think this was going to happen. I thought with them drafting Elijah Moore, I thought Crowder was going to tell him to stick it. I thought Crowder was going to get cut and or traded with the Jets taking some of the money. I am a little surprised by this, and I'm curious where Crowder fits in now for you.
He's still a super late round pick for me. One thing that I have to point out is it's a new staff. So you have Robert Saleh coming in there. Obviously, you have LaFleur as the offensive coordinator. That's not to say Jamison Crowder can't contribute to this team, but you said it yourself. You said, I thought he was going to tell them to shove it and he was going to get cut. The fact that they told him to take a pay cut tells you, like, hey, dude, you know, thanks for your service, but new staff, kind of new regime. You're out there, you sign Keelan Cole and you sign Corey Davis and Denzel Mims is in his second season. And then you draft Elijah Moore, who I think can do more than be a slot receiver. But I think when you project him early in his career to be, that's where you probably line him up, is in the slot. And I was reading an article from Connor Hughes of The Athletic, who does a nice job covering the Jets. And he said, like, Elijah Moore was like far and away the best player at Jets OTAs. Now, we always get these rookie hype pieces, but, you know, Elijah Moore was a guy I liked in the pre-draft process. I actually had him going in the first round mentally. I didn't do a full mock draft myself, but I had Elijah Moore going in the first round. I thought it was great value for the Jets in the second round. And I think ultimately that Elijah Moore is going to take that job from Jamison Crowder as the predominant slot receiver. And the best chance Jamison Crowder has to be that predominant slot receiver is if Elijah Moore, they decide he could do more and he plays outside. You know Corey Davis is going to be the number one. They paid him to be the number one, or at least he's going to get every shot to be that X. So he's locked in. I think it's going to be hard to keep Elijah Moore off the field. So Jamison Crowder has to hope Elijah Moore, in my opinion, takes the job from Keelan Cole or Denzel Mims, somebody on the perimeter, and they think that he's going to contribute in that regard. But then I look at the Jets receiving core, and you know they don't have a Calvin Ridley, but look at the Jets' depth vis-a-vis that of the Atlanta Falcons, and you're like, man, they got some names here, Ross. Like, they got guys, you know, Bryson Berrios is still there. They've got guys who have contributed in the past. So you've got a decent a group of receivers for Zach Wilson, who, you know, in a lot of drafts is still going undrafted. As of right now, I think he's only one of two rookie quarterbacks guaranteed to start in week one. So maybe there's some value there, because I think the Jets have more weapons than the conventional wisdom might suggest.
You mentioned something I think is important, and it's great because I wanted to ask you about it anyway. You talked about the Elijah Moore camp reports. Mm-hmm. So I remember we had one of your guys on, I think it was Scott Barrett, who said that he watches every post-draft press conference.
Yep.
So now that's different because that's the coaches talking. But what I want to know is, what do you do with minicamp OTA reports? What, like, is it means a lot, means a little, somewhere in the middle, or means a lot, means nothing, somewhere in the middle, depends on the source? Like, what are we doing with this?
Somewhere in the middle. Now, of course, when we analyze, and we've got guys in the pre-draft process we like. By the way, Scott Barrett, Elijah Moore was like his guy. So that's why I was turned on to Elijah Moore in the first place. But when it comes to these reports, I file them away. I'd surely like a guy to have positive reports more so than negative reports. If a guy doesn't have anything, you know, I don't really care about that. But then you want to confirm it. You want to confirm it into training camp when the whole team's there and they're starting to ramp up. And if Connor Hughes is saying in August, guys, I'm telling you, Elijah Moore is still out there kicking ass, I'm especially going to make note. If Elijah Moore looks good in the preseason, I'm especially going to make note. Oh my God, Ross, how nice is it to have a normal offseason this year? I'm excited that we're going to be able to look at some of these guys during the preseason, but I put it somewhere in between. I want to hear positive reports more so than negative reports. But for a guy like Elijah Moore, who was he was a premium pick. I know he wasn't a first rounder, but a top 40 pick's a premium pick. You look at the draft capital, the talent level, the fact that they asked Jamison Crowder to take a pay cut to even stay on the roster. That all spells good news for Elijah Moore for me.
Got it. I want to get to a question, Joe. We don't do this very often, but if our listeners ever take advantage of any of the sponsors, whether it's DraftKings or Fantasy Points using the code 21Feast, and you send me a question, I'm going to ask Joe. You take advantage of one of our sponsors and you have a question, you get to ask Joe or me the question. This comes to us, Joe, from Jan. I have a fantasy question for you. I apologize in advance for somewhat long-winded part of this, which is to give some background. I've been in 2 leagues for a long time. I have a theory I wanted to run by you. All the experts insist you draft running backs first and often. Because I was drafting 10th out of 12, I drafted heavy on wide receivers. I had 4 of the top 10 points producers due to my belief that there are only a few running backs that truly get heavy workloads. Most teams have running backs by committees. Long story short, I won the league with by far the best record and cleaned up in the playoffs due to my wide receivers just crushing it. My team was the only one that used this tactic. So, is this a reflection of the past proliferation in the NFL and a monumental change in fantasy football, or just an aberration?
It sounds like Jan accidentally discovered zero RB, like without explicitly going out and doing so. So no, Jan, to call it an aberration would be false, because that is a strategy that has worked out for a lot of people, like Sean Siegel in big money leagues when he came out writing that article all those years ago. It was especially effective last year, Ross, because of the number of bell cow running backs who missed action. Saquon Barkley, Christian McCaffrey. Ezekiel Elliott was in an offense that was broken after Dak Prescott went down. So all these high draft picks ended up biting the dust because of injuries or other reasons. 2 years ago, it was a very bad year for zero running backs because all the big-time running backs stayed healthy and played well. It was a really great year for those first-round running backs. So if you average it out, and you're like, well, it's an aberration because all the running backs got hurt, that's not necessarily fair, because I think you can have zero RB success even in a year where there's teams when big-time running backs don't get injured. I think it's just a little bit harder. But I think you're playing the averages when you play zero RB. Oh, these guys are going to get hurt. We're artificially bumping some guys up because we think they're going to be a bell cow running back. For instance, I might look at to bring into Atlanta, Mike Davis is going in the 4th and 5th round. Myles Gaskin of the Dolphins is going in the 4th and 5th round because people think these guys are going to be bell cows. And every single year, there are guys drafted in the 1st and 2nd round who crap out at that price. This also brings me to another article that Scott Barrett wrote last year, which was bell cow or bust. He was looking at this and saying, I want a bell cow running back, but if I don't get a bell cow running back, I'm loading up on wide receivers. I think people take the zero RB and they're like, oh, that means you don't draft a running back until like the 12th round. Some people have done that. That's not really what it means. I think modified zero RB is something that I've employed in the past where, all right, I've got my first running back. I took my Derrick Henry at number 4 overall. I got Saquon Barkley at 6 this year because I think he's going to bounce back. But I'm not going to force the issue at the running back position elsewhere. I'm not going to take Miles Sanders in the second round if I don't feel good about his role. I'm not going to take Clyde Edwards-Helaire in the second round if I don't feel good about his role. Not to say I don't like those players, but I'm just making an example. And I'm just going to take the best player on the board. Like, dude, that is a very viable strategy. I don't think it's a reflection of the pass heaviness of the NFL, though that makes it a lot more viable. I just think it's a reflection that there are multiple ways to build a winning fantasy team, and loading up at wide receiver, maybe taking an elite tight end, maybe investing in somebody like a Lamar Jackson or Kyler Murray, a quarterback who's going to run, and then supplementing them in later rounds with handcuff running backs or pass catching running backs who are going to get you just a handful of points every week. And maybe you end up lucking out on the waiver wire. I mean, that's an extremely viable way to build a fantasy team. And no, it's not something you got lucky with. You employed the right strategy. You had a sound reasoning behind it. The board didn't fall the way it needed to for you to get that bell cow running back. And if I can take a bell cow running back in the first round, I'm doing it. But there's not 12 of those guys. There's not 24 of those guys. So yeah, I like some of the second-round running backs. I like Joe Mixon this year quite a bit. I like that Gio Bernard is gone in Cincinnati. But if you don't feel comfortable doing that, man, there are some really damn good wide receivers and tight ends available in those first couple rounds, and you can employ zero RB again this year.
At FG_Dolan. Follow this man. Go to fantasypoints.com. Use the code 21Feast. He's an absolute stud. They all are over there. And I love questions like that. Go to rosstucker.com, the sponsor pet tab. See which code you want to use. Send it to me, ross@rosstucker.com, after you take advantage of it, and ask Joe a question. It's a great time of year to get Joe's answers to thoughts like that. That was awesome. Thank you very much, Jan. Other than that, I'm stuffed. We're done.
Thanks for listening to the Fantasy Feast podcast. Make sure to also subscribe to the Ross Tucker Football Podcast, Even Money, Business of Sports, and the College Draft. All available at Apple Podcasts, rosstucker.com, or wherever podcasts can be found.
A lot of times on the show, I mentioned DraftKings. Here's what you need to know. You got to be 21 or older, New Jersey, Indiana, or Pennsylvania only. New customers only. Restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER, or in Indiana, 1-800-9-WITH-IT. By the way, if what I was talking about included a deposit bonus, doesn't always, sometimes it does. Deposit bonus requires 25 times playthrough, and deposit bonuses are paid out in site credit.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Hopefully everyone enjoyed the American Ultimate Disc League presentation over the last couple of hours, but it's right back to Simland, just the one more until we call it a night and then get back to our regularly scheduled event dream stream schedule of 6, a half dozen Madden Sims tomorrow. But we've got Madden After Dark right here beginning momentarily. He is Tom Carroll. I'm Adam Kaufman. What you been doing all day, man?
What did I do today? Did a little work.
Good.
Did a little shopping around. Went to Bed Bath and Beyond.
Oh, usually that's a Saturday thing.
Bit.
That's when you get. That's when you have a nice little Saturday.
Yep,
Saturday. I don't know if you'll have enough time.
Grabbed a meal. What else did we do?
A whole meal of food.
Whole meal of food. Got back, hung around a little bit, watched some hoops. Now I'm here. Happy Friday.
Excellent.
What have you been doing?
Well, I had the 4 o'clock, so excuse me. I did. I was waiting for that. I knew it was coming. I did. It was not an intended pregnant pause. It was a. Well, I have time to find the mute button, or am I just going to cough directly into the microphone? And I opted to plug everybody's ears. There's another one. All right,
you're close, man. You're close to 100%. You're like 94%.
89.
Okay. B plus. It's fine.
If we're still hearing that, I don't feel I can call myself in the 90s. What have I done? So I did that. I've watched a couple episodes of Dave on Hulu.
I've heard that's good. My brother really likes Dave.
A Film Fest Friday, oftentimes when we were together for Madden After Dark. So I, at many people's recommendations, BK, Jeffrey in the chat, among others, I started watching that. Very funny, very enjoyable, and not a whole lot else.
You know what I watched last night randomly? A movie I hadn't seen ever.
Tell me.
On Netflix. Well, I watched 2 movies last night.
Okay.
Fun with Dick and Jane. Very funny. Jim Carrey, early 2000s. Enjoyable movie.
It didn't look funny, so I'm going to have to take your word on that.
That's fun. That's a fun movie. Morgan recommended it.
Okay.
She was shocked I hadn't seen it. She loves Jim Carrey. So that was fun. And then followed that up with Between Two Ferns, the movie.
I enjoy Between Two Ferns.
So I like the Between Two Ferns videos online.
The movie didn't do much for you?
Didn't work for me. It was a little too long.
A lot of great cameos.
It was too self-aware, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
whereas Between Two Ferns,
like the end credit stuff where, you know.
Oh, the bloopers were hilarious.
Yeah, that stuff was good.
I thought that was the best part. I said to Morgan, I was like, this is the part I am laughing the hardest at.
It might have been. Paul Rudd tells a really good joke during the bloopers.
Oh, it's so good.
Yeah.
But the movie itself, like, this is going to sound weird to say, but when you're watching the Between Two Ferns videos, it almost feels like an actual interview, right? Like,
yeah, it feels like a really awkward show.
Yeah, it does its job, but in the movie format, you know that they don't. It's not. There's no illusion that it's real whatsoever. Will Ferrell's great in it. I'll give him credit. But yeah, so watched 2 comedies last night. Pleasantly surprised by Dick and Jane. A little bit disappointed by Between Two Ferns. So
we got KNut67 in the chat. Who cares about your stinking movies?
Who cares?
All right.
Talk about the sim.
Came in a little hot. Got, let's see. Ross's Fat Cat. Hi, Tom. Hi, Cough. Feed me.
Hi.
Hello. Oh, Obi-Wan. Oh, geez. It's the After Dark Mother Coffer. No dice. Obi-Wan, you know what I have to say about that? Leave. Just go. We don't need your view. Really. Just close the tab, man. It's all right. Ain't gonna hurt my feelings.
Or just watch us on mute. That's cool, too.
Nah, mute won't be good enough for him because he'll know. He'll still know that we're here.
Oh, that's good. The close-up mic thing. That's always a hit for me.
Does that? So I don't know because I've never listened back. Fumble right away. Eagles, Denver. Does it actually sound different when I do that?
Oh yeah. I mean, it definitely sounds different on my end, no doubt. You actually sound decently far away from your mic today.
Most of the time.
Yeah, probably more often than not.
Mike is more
you're a
big.
far away from the mic guy as it goes.
Well,
when it
so-
like if I'm ranking the broadcasters distance away from the mic, you're definitely towards the scale of being far away from the mic. Whereas,
So is that, and I'm asking honestly, I'm asking anyone, our production crew, ops, obviously the DK Sim fam, is that bad? I mean,
I don't watch, so I don't know.
Well, I guess that's
You know?
true. But like the reason for it is because I am sitting, let's say, 10 inches off my desk, okay? Like 10 inches away from the desk. And the mic is on the desk, obviously. And not only is it on the desk, it's slightly to my right, so it's not in the direction that I'm looking. So it's, so I am not talking obviously directly into the mic. If I were sitting right in front of it, talking directly into the mic, it would sound a little bit like this.
Yeah,
I'd be right in front of it. Yeah, but I worry about yelling and screaming and popping peas and things like that.
Yeah, you're a little hot. You're coming in a little hot there.
I worry about that.
I've always been told that the home mic, you want to be at least a fist to 2 fist lengths away from your mic.
Well, clean it up, would you? I just don't know. I don't want it to sound bad. I'll sit closer.
We want to sound good.
If the people want me to sit closer, I'll sit closer. I'll hold the damn thing if I need to.
I will. How about this?
The whole time.
Grammy, I know you're watching.
Grammy?
If you think Koff should sit closer to the mic, let me know after the broadcast, and I'll pass it along.
Grammy, just get in the chat and tell us.
Well, I don't know if she knows how to do that. Also, I don't want her to try and text while she's watching because I don't think that she can very easily switch between apps, I think she usually is a throw it on and set it and forget it type of situation. So
now,
we'll await that response and I'll pass it along.
Grammy's first name is Michelle, right?
No, Sharon. My mom's name is
Your mom's Michelle.
Yes.
I want to know who's liking the tweets. So that's
Michelle.
Okay.
Michelle is big on the social medias.
I was going to say, if Grammy's on Twitter, man.
No, Grammy's not in the Twitter game. She just clicks the link that I text her. It's a very easy process, Mom of Julius on Twitter.
Get off that axis projection, Koff. So Mike,
you got in your lineup anyway.
Producer Mike says, for the purposes of the sim, it's fine. If you were reading an audiobook, closer would be better. That makes a lot of sense to me.
There you go.
So I probably shouldn't do my professional radio stuff in exactly the same position then?
Is that what you do?
Yeah, it is what I do.
Oh my god.
No one said anything.
Not.
Maybe they just think that there's no better option. They haven't heard the difference. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Maybe they're just being lazy.
Just being, I guess.
They're like, all right, here's the audio. Cool.
Yeah.
Done.
Upload, play. So this is the Madden After Dark, the Let's Hang and then I'm watching Fate of the Furious free roll because that's how this is all going down. Because Glash and I have our date on Friday to go see Fast 9. So I got to do Fate of the Furious tonight and I got to do Hobbs and Shaw tomorrow because I don't think I'm going to have any time during the week to get to those. And I want to make sure that I'm properly caught up in time. My lineup, to answer your question, I've got Marquise Goodwin in the captain spot, about 11% owned, 44% overall, but 11% in the captain. Carson Wentz, who I don't roster a lot, but I just feeling it today. I've got him. Miles Sanders, he's an automatic for me. 88% overall, 27% at captain. Cortland Sutton, Alshon Jeffrey, KJ Hamler. So
the Hamler.
Fairly balanced lineup.
I like your lineup. We have some crossover. I have Carson Wentz in the captain spot, Deshaun Jackson, Alshon Jeffrey, Miles Sanders, Cortland Sutton, and my punt play, which gave me a lot of flexibility, Jalen Reagor, who averages 9.1 a sim. In recent Eagles sims has done things, so I figured why not? Maybe I'll get lucky too. So I threw Reagor in my lineup at $1,400. So,
okay, all right.
See how it goes.
Yeah, see how it goes.
That's the beauty of a free roll, people. You can get creative.
I see, by the way, I didn't realize this, that we are on an alternative stream. Normally the dream stream is obviously, it's one continuous 12-hour or 13-hour stream. We're on a new one because of the American Ultimate Disc League action that went on earlier.
That is correct.
So it's just the one sim, Madden After Dark. So folks, I mean, blow up that like button. We're at a quick 30, and that's great, but let's go. Chop that
Kill
thing
it.
up. How about Dallas Goedert with a couple of catches already? Almost rostered him, but I was like, nah, he's not going to be that involved. Halfway through the first 2 catches. Are you kidding me?
A-Nut says that's why Pops never wins. No, well, possibly. I try to win most of the time. K-Nut.
What does that mean? You're not always trying to win?
Well, at this instance, getting Rager in the lineup, it's more of an experiment than anything. You know?
Oh, it's
like
a terrible play. There's no.
I was counting my my Sims today just because I was curious how many I've done. And again, you just pull up the monthly invoice. It's a very easy process.
Well, not a lot of people keep track of that stuff. So yeah, what's your number at? As we got a first and goal from the 5. Wentz, left side, touchdown.
Hurts.
That hurts.
So as of now, at the end of June, I will have done 271 Sims since joining mid-October.
You joined when again?
Mid-October last year. It's a lot.
Yeah, we started March 28th, obviously. So that you've been around for a little more than half.
It's pretty nuts. So
Closing in on 300. Be honest, you just wanted to find the exact number so Daniel could update your trading card.
I hadn't thought about that, but now I will definitely have him update it once I hit that marker somewhere in mid-July. But
I'm closing in on 800.
I'm surprised you weren't even higher.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you've been. There's no way in the time
I'm
that
just
I've been
banking
here.
weekends.
Yeah, I haven't done as many 3 and even 4 sim days as you have. You know, most of mine are 2. There's the occasional 1. Very rarely am I off. I've certainly done my fair share of 3. Not recently, though. Well, I shouldn't say that. I did one 2 days ago. But before that, I hadn't done a 3 for I don't know how long. You're doing 8 out of 12 on the weekend, man. I mean, you're playing catch up here.
100%. And I also don't have children, so it's easier for me to make time on the weekends to do these.
Certainly, yeah. I mean, you don't have time to even welcome kids into the equation right now.
Right. So all of that is to say, I've done so many of these that I can throw an experimental lineup together and see what happens. And if it doesn't, shake out for me, go back to going with the trying to win strategies. The next 50 Sims that I'm gonna do.
I definitely didn't roster Drew Lock.
Yeah, never, absolutely never put Drew Lock in a lineup.
I wonder if
Never
Obi-Wan
do that,
actually
people.
left. He hasn't written anything in the chat.
Yeah, so that's the lowest number of likes I've ever seen at this time of night, and that explains it because we're on a little alternate stream here.
That's right. By the way,
sent
keep an
the
eye on the
same-
basketball game. There's another one starting up in just a little bit. Utah and the Clippers. The reason that one hasn't started is because the other hasn't finished yet. Philly trying to force a game 7, up by 3 with 20 seconds left, folks.
Oof.
No quit in this Hawks team. No quit in Trae Young either. I mean, dude, 34 points, 11 assists. Been awesome. Lock. Deep into traffic.
Oh, he caught it.
Got it! Sutton, 43 yards.
Like that. You like that as well.
I love that. All
I will
about
take
that.
it. Miguel, 1984, says TL sets better lineups than you. I resent that because she won once. Doesn't mean she sets them better regularly. She got lucky, okay? I'll say it.
Whoa.
Yeah, I'll say it.
Tell you what. I mean,
Didn't she win with the backup quarterback in her lineup?
I don't think she won with that one, but she has made multiple lines. I did a sim with her the other day. She captained Ryan Fitzpatrick.
I respect the hell out of it.
I have thoughts on it. Respect doesn't come to mind, though.
Wow, Mr. Nick saying, hey, Tom and Koff, how y'all doing in the Moose Classic? I'm 8th, knowing nothing about golf.
Good on you,
I'm not
man.
doing
I am
so
not
hot.
doing well. I was winning that thing for a little while yesterday
Lindsay.
early. Touchdown, Philip Lindsay. But yeah,
Yeah, I'm not doing so hot. I'm like bottom half.
I am. I'll tell you. I'll look. Likewise, I'm bottom half.
I haven't set up. It's the first golf lineup I've ever set with DK, so I just entered it in a few other free contests or low entry contests, and I'm just way. It's funny when you're in like the 4,000 person contest and you're like in 3,658th place. You're like, oh, okay, yeah. So you're telling me I'm not going to win this.
So it's not completely done. It's basically done as far as the second round. And the projected cut line is 4 over. So, that in mind, how many of my guys are going to miss the cut? 3.
Brings up a good point. I'm approaching 0 for 300 on these sims.
That's a great point.
When you put it in that context, you're onto something. I'm curious what everyone's record is in DK Simland here with these streams. Like, you're 0 for what as far as contests that you've joined and won in regards to these Maddens?
I don't think most people know how many contests they've entered, though.
Right, but guesstimate if you could. Like, I'm curious if someone, or at least is close to knowing how many they've won and how many they've entered. I wonder if there's people out there that have that record in mind, or if they could take a second and think about it. Like, I do one every day, and I've done one a day since
one every day. You got a lot of people doing 6 a day, man. And
that's what I mean. So do some math,
classics,
and figure it out. I bet there's a lot of people that have never won, just like me. I don't think I'm alone here at 0 for 300.
Bert Bobo and Ops says 1 for 20 for him.
There you go.
Relatively new. Daniel and Mike, we got producer Mike Daniel, our technical director. Have you guys, I'm assuming, have won one of these things by now? Maybe more than once. I have no idea.
I think I've been on one that Michael has won.
I won yesterday, actually. It was yesterday. Michael says he's won 3
Michael's won 3 or 4 times. Okay.
Wentz got there. Out to the
nice
48.
grab.
Wentz is perfect.
Achilles
Really
Ace 83 too. Says they're 3 for 500. Okay. I feel some kinship with you, Achilles Ace.
Big number.
Here we go. Evan Boney saying 21 wins in 10,033 games. So 21 for 1033. Trifilly Boinkster 2 for 850.
Man. Like
Justin Rennick 1 for 7. Off to a good start, Justin.
Executive sessions. I don't know how many I've entered, but I've sure lost a lot of money. But you're here with us, baby, and that's all that matters.
Obi-Wan just says that they've won. Congratulations. How many times have you won?
So proud of you. Picked.
Oh! That doesn't help us.
I mean, how many people could that possibly help? How many of you out there have the Broncos DST?
I'm going to say not many. Well, it would help you if people in front of you have Wentz. So, it's sort of like the reverse if you're trying to jump people.
Take a little look.
You know what I'm saying?
Know what I'm saying?
KNut67 wants to know why there was no 6 and 8 o'clock Sims today, Koff.
American Ultimate Disc League, brother. Every Friday night, at least for a stretch here. I mean, not every Friday going forward, but for a stretch, we will have American Ultimate Disc League coverage Friday
during
nights.
Ultimate Frisbee season, of course.
Yeah, of course. Here on the Dream Stream. Don't miss it. Do not miss it. You hear me?
Have we talked about Ultimate Frisbee before, you and I? I think it's a very fun sport. It's underrated activity. A good alternative to playing pickup football. Two-hand touch.
I know it was Boston against DC. That was the matchup tonight. The Ultimate Disc. The American Ultimate Disc League. Don't call it Frisbee.
Yeah.
They don't
similar though. I mean, they're
Ultimate Disc.
You can play disc with a Frisbee.
Well, sure. In the quad near the gymnasium. We've not discussed
Bert
it.
Gets it.
I have not actually had the chance to check it out, but I understand it's really cool. It's a lot of fun. I know
the fun sport.
Ukes and Lamarca were talking about it earlier. They were saying that they checked out some of the coverage and it was great. I meant to tonight, and then I was tied up with the kids and and I'm like eating dinner as I do Madden After Dark, just to give you an idea of what kind of day it's been. East Coast, baby.
Show the people what you're eating. Lift it up. Show the people.
I got some, let me see. I got some fries and buffalo fingers. Can you see that?
Oh, nice.
Yeah, thank you.
Nice. There you go.
All I can make. It uses an oven. It's not
oven frozen.
Yeah, it's not
preheat.
Difficult. Yeah, from the store.
Okay, here's a question for you that I would get in some arguments in college about this, and I know I'm right here, but I'll ask you because you do some weird food stuff. Okay, you preheat your oven, then put the food in, correct? You're not a heathen that puts the food in while it preheats.
Yeah, I mean, who does that?
Dude, I had roommates in college that did that, and I'm like, guys, that doesn't count as cook time.
No, you're the wrong roommates, bud.
It needs to cook at that temperature for that length of time. You can't put it in as soon as you start preheating. That's not how it works, bros.
No, you got to.
Like, oh, it's fine. And then you're eating like a cold, frozen piece of pizza at 3 in the morning.
Look, generally speaking, I don't think it's going to do you any harm putting it in while it's preheating.
No, because it's already cooked.
Yeah, that being said, yeah, I'm happy to wait till it gets to the 425 and put it. Now today, because I was running around, I was trying to do a couple things, and I just didn't want to sit and wait. I was like, this is stupid. I have things to do.
Yeah.
I gotta get to the sim. So it got to it was at 375, and I was like, screw this. I'm putting the tray in. I'm not gonna sit here and wait till 425.
Fair.
Dumb. Why?
Sometimes you just got to do it, you know?
Sometimes you just got to move that process along. Rossi's Fat Cat. Y'all making me hungry. You sharing Tukov? Yeah, get on over here.
Bert asking if we cook pizza on a tray. I would use a stone that you put in the oven. It's like a round stone. That's my preference.
Sure.
If I was making a frozen pizza. Haven't made a frozen pizza in a long time. This is actually something that I learned from my future father-in-law.
Nice.
That I feel as though is some very good life advice. If you're going to eat a frozen pizza and you're willing to settle to get to I'm just going to eat a frozen pizza, that level of pizza, you might as well just order a cheap pizza for about the same amount of money. You know?
Sure.
What we're already at this level. Why not spend an extra $2? Go get something hot from a local national chain. You know? Yeah. It's good advice. My wife
really likes to make fresh pizza. She'll make a pizza from.
Oh, nice.
She enjoys doing that for the kids like that.
That's a good hobby.
Well,
for the house.
I wouldn't say it's a hobby necessarily. It's just something she does.
Well, if she's making homemade pizza, it sounds like she must enjoy it.
Yeah, I mean it's relatively quick and easy. You just gotta obviously roll the dough out into the big circle, throw everything on top of it, and put it in the oven. I mean, I could do it. Probably wouldn't taste as good because I don't appreciate it.
Because you're not good at it, and it's not as easy as you're making it.
What are you saying?
Must be saying that he thinks his wife is going to win the dang Moose Classic. Wow. Congrats on that's cool.
I mean, that's good.
You guys
for the house, isn't
doing
it?
do a little couples contest entry.
Mm-hmm.
Very nice.
Sounds like a good thing to me. Get that cheddar, must be. Oh, meant to mention our guy, Bert, says he watched episode 2 of Loki after the 4 p.m. sim today. Bert, what'd you think, brother? Obviously, I've watched. Adam says, Koff, did you see the ESPN post? ESPN posted Emerson's tweet regarding the Madden 22 cover. I did not. What?
Wow, congratulations to Emerson.
Was it ESPN? Was it Snapchat? Was it Twitter? Was it ESPN2? Was it ESPN Stats and Info?
Was it Gary Streisky?
Yeah, was it? Yeah, because if it was him, it doesn't count. So we're on the record. If it was Gary Streisky, the tweet does not count. because they are close friends. That's it. Like, that's a layup.
That's a bromance that I enjoy watching from afar.
Sure, there you go.
I enjoyed him when he'd fill in on the Red Sox broadcasts and doing sideline stuff. And now that I know Emerson, it's kind of funny to see those two interact.
Let's see. So it's as he wrote, there can only be one GOAT. The new Madden cover should be Tom Brady with the Patriots and Tom Brady with the Buccaneers.
Oh, nice play from Carson Wentz. Looked like Mahomes there. That was Mahomes-esque. Helps both of us. Miles Sanders with the grab. Yeah, I agree. I don't like the shared Madden cover thing. I think it's lame.
Yeah.
How many times does Brady need to beat Mahomes before they're just going to let Brady be better than Mahomes until Brady's done playing football?
Yeah, I mean, he's already.
Stop trying to make Brady and Mahomes a thing.
Stop trying to make it happen. Yeah, Adam,
it's kind of a weird cover too.
100% doesn't count, Adam. Streisky basically runs Snapchat.
Yeah, he does.
Not a thing.
It looks like a bad rap cover, right? They're just like both sitting on the bench there with the like looking up at the.
Although I will, did you watch
the ground level?
Did you watch the teaser video of like Brady
with
signing
the bubble
the contract and then the bubble? So, yeah, that was. I like Brady's dusting off his acting chops again. By the way, Philly won. Game 7 on the way.
Cough. I love Brady, but I got to tell you, very unimpressed with his acting skills.
Across the board? Because that's a mistake. I think that's a mistake.
No, he's not. Dude, he's not a good actor. He's not. He doesn't have any range at all. Extremely monotone. Does nothing facially. Doesn't have.
Oh, I see.
Can't do anything physical. I think he's an awful actor. Love the guy, but there's one thing he doesn't do well, and it's acting. There's a touchdown from Miles Sanders.
Mike says you didn't like him in Entourage?
I don't even think he was good in Entourage.
Have you seen his mattress commercials? What about Ted 2? No, but for real.
I love the guy to death.
The Dick's Sporting
It feels
Goods.
Forced.
The Dick's Sporting Goods thing they did for Funny or Die a while back when he was still obviously a Patriot with the standee.
Yeah, with the mass accent.
Yeah, that was legit.
That was okay.
That was good. And then the I don't remember the company, the insurance company, but the commercial, that he had filmed in advance of the Super Bowl that aired after they won.
With the rings? No, that was a bank, I think.
Yeah. Also, well done. I think you're shortchanging the guy.
What's the bet? Okay, but that's two. We're talking 2 for what? 2 for 50 over the course of his 20-plus year career in the spotlight. I mean,
well, I think 50 is overshooting it. But second to that, I mean, he's not Peyton Manning. He's not a professional pitchman.
That's what I'm saying. He's just not that. He's just not a good actor, dude. Peyton is a good actor. And look, you're not going to find anyone who rooted harder against Peyton Manning during his career.
Cut that meat.
Peyton is a legit funny dude.
He is. Yeah, there's no question that Peyton Manning is much funnier than Tom Brady. There's no question.
Yeah.
But who's going to...
Also not a good actor, LeBron James. Like, I watched the Space Jam 2.
Wow, do I disagree with that. Now, I'm not saying Space Jam's going to be great or anything, but, like, did you watch LeBron James in Trainwreck?
And I don't think he was good in Trainwreck.
I thought he was very good. I also thought he was solid in... excuse me. Whoa! Hot Wings. He was good hosting SNL a while back.
Here's what I think my thing is with athletes as actors. I think that because we're so close to it and we're such big fans, that we hear them talk as regular humans or their rehearsed, public personas surrounding their job in sports so often that when I see them try and act, I can't take them seriously. I think that's what it is for me. There's very few athletes that can do that crossover. Like, I think Kobe was really good at it. Kobe could deadpan with the best of them.
In what?
Yes, I think in all the stupid type of stuff that Brady does.
What did he act in?
The Kobe equivalent of those things. Different ads or skits over the years. Cameos in shows.
I'm not saying you're wrong. I literally don't.
I don't have specific examples offhand.
I don't remember Kobe acting, and I know he did. I'm sure he did. I just don't remember Kobe acting in anything.
All right. You're gonna make me pull up Kobe's IMDb page. I'm gonna do it.
I mean, random commercials aren't going to appear in that. Bobo shouting out Kobe in the McDonald's commercial. Brian up to 5th in the MLB contest. Way to go, buddy. Brian, you got me all excited though, because you tagged me and you wrote cough up to 5th in the MLB contest, and I thought you meant I was up to 5th, and I got excited and then I checked it. And I'm not, but you are. And
so
that's
Kobe
awesome.
has 23 acting credits. Let's see.
Well, I bet a lot of those are, himself on a late night talk show.
He was in an episode of Modern Family. See, again, it's going to be hard for me to be like, oh yeah, that one. He was good there. It's just he was in an episode of Sister. Shout out, great show.
It is not.
I don't know.
Stop that right now.
Oh, love Sister.
He and Tamara.
Great
theme. Not make a great show.
It's a great show. Great show for the kids. Great formative years show. Like a Boy Meets World vibe.
Oh,
smart guy.
Don't you?
It's all in that vibe.
Don't you bring Boy Meets World up in here?
Boy Meets World is the apex mountain of that genre for me.
Okay.
And then everything kind of falls under that umbrella.
Did you ever watch Girl Meets World?
I watched one episode of it, and I said, I am never going to watch another single episode.
I actually meant to check it out, and I never did.
I did because, of course, how could I not, right?
Well, the only reason, like you probably, the only reason I meant to check it out is because...
Curiosity.
No, I don't care about the kids. They brought back members of the old cast. I wanted to see, grow up.
That's what I mean. I was curious to see what they were going to do with my dudes and my guys.
Shannon, Eric... Mr. Feeney, come on.
I needed to see I tuned in for the cameos, and it was such a bad show, even
Mr.
with
Hill
the cameos.
Kobe had a role in Moesha. Well, yeah, he went to the prom with Brandy.
So Kobe was just one example that came to mind. There's very few athletes that I think make good actors, and I think it's for that reason. I have a bias because I watch all these dumb press conferences because of my sports obsession, and watch them play their sport on the court or on the field, and that's how I need this. My brain wants to see them.
All right, here's the question
remove it
for the people. Let's engage the chat. Here's the question for the people: who is your favorite athlete actor? Doesn't have to be an athlete turned actor. Could just be someone who dabbles. Could be someone like a Terry Crews who full on, was in the NFL and became an actor, somebody like that.
John Cena's a good actor, if we're counting wrestlers.
I enjoy John Cena. The Rock, obviously.
The Rock, yeah.
Him, among others. Let us know, chat. Who stands out to you? Producer Mike has sent us an article. It's wildly out of date. That's not his fault. It's just when it was written. 2011. So plenty have come along in the last decade. But 15 best athletes who became actors.
So Ray Allen, I think he's not that good as Jesus Shuttlesworth, to be honest. It's a good role.
I think he's fine.
But I guess I'm looking at this list. He's on there as 14th out of 15. So sure, we'll allow it. I'm trying to just throw out some.
He's done a ton of stuff. Michael Irvin was fantastic.
Throw out Bob Uecker is great.
Bob Uecker for sure. OJ, really good in the Naked Gun movies.
Oh, Carl Weathers is the best.
Carl Weathers is fantastic.
Carl Weathers is a legit actor in my eyes, though. It's hard for me. I guess I didn't know about his brief NFL career before going to the CFL.
Fred Dreyer was Hunter. You're probably too young for that show, but I remember that one. Bubba Smith, Police Academy, obviously.
All right, Merlin Olsen, one of the most famous.
I honestly always
ever.
Forget Mark Harmon was an athlete. I mean, not at the professional ranks. He played in college, but I always forget Mark Harmon was an athlete. So
we're throwing Burt Reynolds on this list. This list, I don't like this list. This this is like not in the spirit of the game, you know?
Sure.
Like Burt Reynolds was an actor.
Well, and in what
You know?
universe are we calling Bruce Jenner an actor?
Yeah,
because
exactly.
Because he was on a reality show where he was himself with cameras in front of him? Go!
Oh, I thought he had it. Michael, I'm not shooting the messenger on that one. That is not on you. And it is on the writer of that blog from 2011 or whenever it was. Daniel brought up Michael Irvin in Longest Yard. Great call. He was really good.
Yeah, really solid. I reject Arnold Schwarzenegger being on this list. I mean, if you're all due respect to bodybuilders, but like, I don't want you to all come after me at once.
Slippery slope here. This is like the hot dog is not a sandwich angle.
Do we view bodybuilders as athletes?
I think Morgan
sense?
yells from the other room, it's not a sandwich. They have weightlifting at the Olympics. It's like one of the most original sports, right? Like gladiators lifting things in the middle of the stadium. You know, who can lift this heavy rock the highest? It has a track and field vibe to me. You know, it's sort of like one of the originals.
Maybe this summer, and you're moving back, we can get a bunch of us together, do some track and field events among the DK commentators and crew and everybody, whoever's local. We'll call it the
DK Decathlon?
No, we'll call it the American Glaciators.
Kind of liked mine.
No, DK
We'll have to do a vote.
Is strong. It's strong. No doubt about it.
I love the idea. I think it would be fun to do around combine time.
Yeah.
We get a DK commentator,
We'll
combine.
just totally rip off Rich Eisen and do the 40-yard dash.
Yeah, I think various sports blogs over the years have done like the full staff combine thing. That's okay. There's really not that many original ideas left. Let's be honest. The Madden Dream Stream is an original enough idea that DraftKings came up with that we can pickpocket stuff the rest of the way if we want to.
K-Nut. Win a sin, and then a hot dog's not a sandwich.
No, if I win, then it is a sandwich. I am in on it being a sandwich.
Rossi's fat cat. That is aggressive.
Brian Anderson saying Shazam.
Iconic scene, though.
I think Shaq's a good actor.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, kind of. I mean, no, not really. But he's not a good actor.
I think Shaq is... Well, neither is Tom Brady.
I didn't say he was. I said, like, he was really good in the Dick's, sporting goods Funny or Die thing or whatever it was. But
I'm not calling Shaq Daniel Day-Lewis.
No, I just mean, like, Ray Allen.
If we're going Tom Brady is a 1 and Daniel Day-Lewis is a 10, Shaq is closer to Daniel Day than Tom Brady.
Oh, you guys are close. Daniel Day. I quit.
DDL.
No, I just mean, like, Ray Allen was believable in He Got Game. You know what I mean? Like, Rick Fox was believable in He Got Game. Like, it was fine. Shaq in Blue Chips?
Blue Chips?
Nope. Like Penny Hardaway? Sure. Shaq? Couldn't take him seriously.
Shaq larger than life Shaq is a better character fit for him than like trying to be a serious actor, though, Like he's good in like the comedy realm.
Yeah, he's a funny guy.
Yeah. He's funny.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a big Shaq fan. I like Shaq.
Yeah. He liked you.
Barkley, not good on SNL a few years ago. Do you remember that?
Yeah. He was okay in Space Jam.
Bad showing.
Bad
showing. Yeah, he actually was good in Space Jam.
I mean, he had very little.
I really hope he doesn't actually retire in a few years like he was saying the other day. I love Barkley on TV. Out. Yeah. I mean, I get it. You're 60. You want to go enjoy life. He's a big fishing guy. So go out, fish, hang out, golf. Mm-hmm. Live in his various homes across the country.
I bet he doesn't walk away.
I bet they throw enough money at him to stay.
Well, ask BK. BK, they're tight. They're friends. Well, tight might be exaggerating it, but they're friends. Certainly closer friends than we are with Charles Barkley.
Well, hey, I mean, I did help him set up our interview with Morton.
You got me there.
He gave me a shout out at the end of the interview.
He said, "Thank you, Tommy. Thank you, Freeze Pops." Did he call you Freeze Pops?
He said.
You're right, Terrace.
try and pull up
Shazam,
the
not
audio.
Shazam. Shazam was actually a good movie.
Isn't there like an internet conspiracy thing about how people think that there's a movie called Shazam with Sinbad as the genie, but it doesn't actually exist, but everyone thinks it exists?
I think that might be a thing.
Daniel probably knows what I'm talking about. There's like a big Reddit conspiracy thing that movie actually doesn't exist. But I have vivid memories of Sinbad playing a genie
Daniel
in a movie
says,
when
"Yep."
I was a kid.
So it's a collective memory.
Yeah, see, there you go. It's a collective memory thing. That's a weird thing. That's not talked about enough.
Talk about it. You got a whole half.
I'm convinced that this movie exists. I'm going to Google this right now.
Google it. Internet's never
Sinbad genie movie. Sinbad's Shazam, the strange case of a movie that doesn't exist.
Domino Joe, hey, Goff, doing some damage
Yeah,
today. What are you up to there, Domino Joe? Talk to me.
This would be a YouTube video explaining it. I can't watch that right now. Let's see.
Damien says,
Let's go to
I've
ourcommunitynow.com.
seen it.
Spoiler alert, the Shazam movie never existed, according to this article from earlier this month. Here, what does Daniel have to say? They talked about it at the DC Fandome last year when Sinbad showed up at the Shazam panel and teased an appearance in an upcoming sequel to Shazam. Collective memory refers to the shared pool of memories, knowledge, and information of a social group that is significantly associated with the group's identity. Blah, blah, blah. Lots of big words. There you go. Nice gain there for the Eagles. Here we go. Let's read this one. In a May 2020 interview, actor and sports star Shaquille O'Neal stated that if kids wanted to see him in Sinbad team up as Kazam and Shazam in an Avengers-style genie movie, he'd put on that hilarious 90s costume and do it again. Of course I would, he said.
If we're just including genies?
Yeah, why not? So then Shaq says, of course I would. Always for the kids. There's one problem. The so-called Sinbad genie movie doesn't exist. For years now, fans have sworn up and down that they grew up on a cheesy 90s movie called Shazam. In this, quotes, movie, Sinbad plays a bumbling genie who grants wishes to two children and takes them on a journey. According to some people, the two children accidentally summon Shazam and wish for their dad to fall in love again. Others even remember scene-by-scene details such as a broken doll and the final scene, which apparently occurred at a pool party. People all across the nation have even experienced having detailed memories of when and where they watched this film as a kid. One man named Don worked at his uncle's movie rental store and specifically remembers buying the Shazam movie for the store. We'll skip over that quote. Some people even believe that Shaq's genie movie Kazam was simply a ripoff of Sinbad's Shazam. Here we go, a bunch of quotes, blah, blah, blah.
But I can't believe after
there's...
all this, you haven't even just asked me if it's on the DVD wall. I own it. It's right here. I'm just kidding.
Pull it up.
I'm just kidding.
I was going to say, because that would be insane. Despite what people believe, there is no evidence that the movie ever existed. Sinbad himself has taken to social media trying to convince fans that he never made a film called Shazam. Touchdown, Alshon Jeffrey. Shazam!
Shazam!
Sinbad said, there's 3 tapes left. There are 3 Shazam videos still out there we did not find. And if we find you, we're going... Okay, gotcha. He was just making a joke. So, I mean, I don't know what's going on here. Why do we all remember seeing this movie, but it didn't actually exist?
Really fair.
Don't understand.
Hey, by the way, completely unrelated.
It's okay. We can switch topics.
Did you see that Smash Lana got the Sons and 4 guy to crap on me and praise Glash via social media?
Oh, was that who that was? I had no idea what.
That's the Sons and 4 guy. That's the guy that
I thought that was
started the
Smash
brawl
Lana
in the basketball game.
For some reason, I thought that was Smash Lana, and I was like, "Oh, Smash Lana's voice is much higher than I thought it was going to be."
No, that is.
But that was the guy that beat up the dude in the stadium.
That's the Sons and 4 guy.
What do you know? That makes it way better. I was like, "Why am I tagged in this?" Oh, Smash Lana, talking some junk. But no. It's much better than that.
Yeah, apparently he, I don't know if that dude's got Cameo or what, but somehow Smash Lana got a hold of him.
Look, if I'm that guy, yeah, monetize your fame as much as possible over the next, X amount of days or weeks, right? I mean,
however you can, apparently.
Come on, dude. I mean, smart move by him. Kyle letting me know that he got an 84 on his humanities test. Good stuff, Kyle. Congratulations.
Way to be, Kyle.
It's the way to do it. Studies hard. Pays off.
Gotta get some sleep, though, man. It's a Friday night.
No, Friday? You kidding me? There's no school tomorrow. Stay up. Go wild. At least make it to the end of Madden After Dark.
Get nuts. Get after it.
24/7. Sorry, I had a brain fart there. 24/7 blowout here. Let's take a look at the free roll, huh?
Sure.
I'm in 13th.
80 poker. Oh, damn, there's a sim? Was there one at 8? There was not one at 8 or 6. American Ultimate Disc League action, but yes, we've got Madden After Dark tonight. Friends and fam.
I'm in 13th. Where are you, Koff?
Oh, probably not that.
Because I'm scrolling around near my name.
Yeah, you're gonna.
You are nowhere to be found.
Get to me. I'm 104 right now. Marquise Goodwin.
Yikes!
Has not been a good captain.
He's a boomer bust cap for sure. If I didn't have Rieger, I'd be doing really well. But there's a reason why I have all these other good dudes in my lineup. It's because I have Jalen Rieger.
You're trying to pull the Moose Ulrich, trying to beat you with 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Rieger,
not gonna work for me. That's hard. That's a tough thing to pull off.
Let's get to 100 likes before we get out of here with this singular sim. Smash that like, hit the subscribe button. For anyone wondering, here's what tomorrow looks like. Oh, would you look at this? Would you look at this? Y'all paying attention? Here's what we got going on tomorrow. Get a load of this. At noon, Brendan Glasheen and Jason Rossi. Don't worry about the games. I'll give you the games later. I'll just give you the tandems, the commentators for right now. At 2 o'clock, it will be Glash and I together.
Nice.
Not in person. He will be at his abode. I will be at mine. But we will be together. And then...
I got to tell you, that last time you guys were together, disappointing. Wanted there to be some punches thrown. It was a love fest. Honestly, was uncomfortable at
Are you
points.
sure? Are you sure it was the last one, or was there one since then?
Whatever the last one was where I watched you guys together.
I remember there was one that we were together, and I don't remember if it was the last one or the one before that, but there was definitely
a month-ish ago.
That you were not happy. I think that Daniel says that was the one before last. I agree.
Okay.
Crappy energy in the sim, really, but the next one was much better.
Yeah, see,
the next
you
one we
ruined
got
it for
into
me,
it.
and so I wasn't excited for that one, so I didn't seek it out.
Well, they can't all be winners. Yeah,
John Horn says I'm a big fart.
Okay. Sounds like
Calling someone a fart is a good insult.
Daniel says the porch sim.
You're a
that was the
big
one that had the most heat. The original. Daniel says sequels are never the same as the original. It's very true. Well, this is like volume 4 or whatever, the two of us together. Maybe, yeah, I guess it must be 4. So 2 o'clock Eastern tomorrow, Glash and I together. I will be with you again at 4 o'clock, which is the first of 4 for you. First of 4 for Freeze Pops on a busy Saturday. Lamarca and Tom at 6. Moose and Tom at 8. Lamarca spins back with you at 10.
Love it.
Good time. So I hope people will join us all throughout the day. Man, Bert says, I got every sim but 1 tomorrow. Bert.
Nice.
Did Ops file out? Have you been abandoned? Are you the only guy left in the shelter in the Ops department? What's going on?
Did Ops go on strike?
Right?
So, Koff, I saw that you have some vacation coming up. Where are you guys going?
We're not doing anything fancy. Just
staycation action.
Yeah, just some day trips, things like that. Just taking a little time away.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Checking out some spots around New England.
Take that into the holiday.
There you
AD
go.
Poker. Oh damn! We'll cancel your plans. It's on. Sean says, "Cough. Brad Wallace is an OG. Never gets a shout out. I didn't even see Brad in the chat, but hello, Brad.
Are you on live chat or top chat?
I'm on the top chat. Should I be in the live chat?
Ooh, get into live chat, baby.
I know that the live chat's like the dark chat. It's like the darkest timeline from Community. I never remember.
Oh, you just
the live chat. I really don't.
I never even knew it was a thing until like 6 weeks ago.
I still don't totally know the difference.
So live chat gives you everyone. Top chat gives you what YouTube thinks that you want to see. Yeah.
You know what, YouTube? Don't you filter me. Don't you tell me what I want to see.
Exactly. I don't need your algorithm controlling my life. Your algorithm already controls everything else that I do.
Don't you come at me, YouTube. I'll tell you what I want to look at. What do you think of that? And I want to see everything.
How you like them apples?
I want to see everything, YouTube. Everything in a world. Everything. Give me everything in the chat. You remember back in the day, like sportscasters, they'd, it's like the headphones on, they'd have the radio right in front, the mic right in front of them like this. Carson Wentz, 23 of 29, 322, has already hit the bonus, 2 touchdowns through 3 quarters. Drew Lock, 7 of 13 for 80. He has scored his credit as well, but it is a rout. It is a blowout. Philadelphia up 24-7. Okay. I was getting like waterlogged in here. And then about halfway through, I was like, am I trying to do a bad Skip Perkins? And then I stopped. I don't want to. The last thing I want to do is steal a gimmick. Especially that one.
Yeah, that's one of my least favorite gimmicks.
Daniel.
I am on the record. I am on the record of hating Skip Perkins.
Yeah, Michael says this is Skip. You're better than that, Cough. I am, Michael. Thank you.
Oh my God, there's a Skip Perkins card. Get out of here.
You haven't seen the Skip card? Oh yeah, it's
I'm giving that a thumbs down in our Slack.
It's pretty good actually. I do like the Skip card. The dead.
I more so just dislike Skip. Out on Skip.
Brad, what's up? I see you. Kyle says, Adam, I love the Glash Adam tandem, second favorite. Clint, DK newest commercial is Cough calling AAA saying he's locked out of his car and the car's running. Pans to the car and Glash is sitting inside with the doors locked.
I like that.
We should have SimFam, DreamStream commercials. I'm in.
Right. Instead of this is SportsCenter, this is DreamStream.
This is DreamStream. Exactly.
I like that.
Hey guys, give it up for Bert doing 5 sims tomorrow.
Let's go, Bert. Me and Bert strapping in
the chat, man. That's
Bert.
Aggressive. That's a busy Saturday right there.
We are getting after it on the weekend.
Daniel says I'm in those commercials too. Mike
nice.
To produce them.
Yeah, those the This Is SportsCenter commercials are funny because whenever they're gonna shoot them on the campus when you're working at ESPN, they send out a big email to everybody.
Big memo,
like, hey,
get out of the way.
No, they say like if you want to be an extra, there's X amount of spots.
No
reply
kidding.
by this amount of time, and you can get in. And it's like a wicked long day of work. But if they pick you, and Daniel, maybe it was different when you were there, but if they pick you to be in the commercial or you got in time, you get to like an excused miss of your work that day, and you get paid to just like be on the set and just, awesome.
That's pretty awesome.
I never got selected. I was always too late to replying because I was working overnights, right? So I wake up at like 2 p.m. to all these emails.
Yeah.
All the spots are filled by the time it gets to me.
Not great.
Not great.
Not great.
Do what you do.
27-7, this thing.
Yeah, this has been a really bad sim for the Broncos. Broncos are a bad
They're
team
an awful
Simland. I think that they are more mediocre than awful in real life, though.
In the sim.
They're bad in Simland. They're mediocre in real life.
Yeah. I'll support that.
So, like, is Aaron Rodgers going to go to Denver or what? Why is this not happening yet?
I don't think so. I really think he's going to be back in Green Bay.
I mean, you are the Packers insider here.
Nope. I'm just the Aaron Rodgers supporter.
You're supposed to go
there's
along
a
with
difference.
my bit. You're supposed to go along with my bit, Cuff.
You want me to put my cheese head on?
Yeah, put the cheese head on and speculate.
And do my reporting?
Yes. This is Adam Kaufman from WTMJ in Wisconsin, reporting live here for the Packers Radio Network.
Supporter of Rodgers is Koff. True.
So the Colts are 0-10 this sim season. So
It's almost beyond belief.
So that might be the staunchest difference between real life and Simland success, because we all know the Colts. Well, we all believe the Colts are going to be at least above 500, if not one of the best teams in the AFC. I mean, their floor feels like 8-8.
In real life?
Yeah.
One of the best teams in the AFC?
Wow. So you're out on the Colts.
I'm not out on the Colts, but you don't think Carson Wentz is a bit of a question mark?
I believe he is, but
One of the top teams in the AFC sounds aggressive to me.
Okay. If you go, okay.
Third in the division.
Whoa. Do not. Here we go. We got to talk this. We got to talk about this stuff.
Go ahead. You got 6 minutes to go in regulation.
Colts have one of the best defenses in the NFL. They have one of the best offensive lines in the NFL. They have really good running backs and a good receiving core and a good tight end. If Carson Wentz is average, that team is still really good. And Frank Reich's a great coach. Look what they did last year with Phillip Rivers, who wasn't particularly good at all.
Yeah, I'm not sure I'm prepared to go along with they'll be good if Carson Wentz is average. I think Carson Wentz needs to be above average. Now,
Nice.
I'm not out on the Colts. I'm not. I think
You sound out on the Colts.
I'm not out on the Colts. I'm not ready to proclaim
When I'm saying
that
one of the best
this
teams in the
reunion
AFC,
with
I'm
Frank
talking
Reich
best.
is definitely going to work. I hope it does. I want it to.
I'm saying they're going to be one of the 4 or 5 best teams in the
Fumble.
AFC.
Who are you putting ahead of them?
Think about the AFC. You got the Chiefs, you got the Bills, you got the Browns. Those are, to me, the 3 definite best teams in the AFC. Right below them, I think the Colts are right there.
I'm going to look at the standings in a second. Damon says, is the host who asks questions and then interrupts people on tomorrow? He irks me. I know it's my problem, but too much ego for a second-rate host. Damon, I'll be on at 2 and 4 with Glash and then Tom.
Is that who he's talking about?
I don't know. It felt too easy. DJ says, Comp just had you on Instagram. Nice, man.
Nice.
I very rarely go on Graham, to be perfectly honest with you.
Wentz hits the bonus. Nice.
Let me pull up the NFL.
I just think that you might be overrating the rest of the conference.
I want to see how many teams. I want to pull up every team in the NFL here real quick.
I'm just saying AFC.
And I want to see. All right, fine, just the AFC. And I want to see how many teams in the AFC I believe are better than the Colts.
Oh God, I feel like you're gonna say some things you're gonna regret here, sir.
Nah. Nobody remembers what we say here.
I remember everything. I remember you rostering Harden over Durant on his 49-point triple-double the other night.
What a stupid decision.
Oh, I tried to tell you not to super nicely, and you just didn't listen to me.
Daniel says, Koff, I need a picture of your DVD wall for its Sim Monument trading card. Daniel, would you like me to get out of the way and you can take a screenshot, or do you want an actual picture?
No, you should get out of the way, but go towards the mic so you're closer to the mic.
Yeah, I'll get out of the way. And let me move the chair for you. There you go. You got nothing but action in front of you. Just like the Broncos got nothing but end zone in front of them. Incomplete. Do you think Daniel will make me stand here or tell me when I can sit down again? No. Stay there for the next 3.5 minutes. Just take your time. I'll just hang out. All right, he says he's got it. Man, I have not moved this chair in a while. I got some serious divots in this carpet. So, teams that I believe are better than the Colts in the AFC. Bills.
And for the ones that I think you're wrong on, I'll just say wrong, and we can continue to go.
Okay.
Touchdown, Denver.
Touchdown. Nice. That the Hamler? No, Jerry Jeudy.
No, it's Jerry Jeudy.
Jerry Jeudy, yeah. Okay. Let me see. I'd love to say the Patriots, but I don't think you'll take me seriously, so I'll skip that.
I'll let you admit that you were wrong now. We don't need to do this.
I'm really thinking about the AFC North right now and whether I would put the Steelers, Ravens, and Browns all in front of the Colts.
I would say that you can put the Browns above the Colts. I think the Steelers have
the Browns
crazy regressed, and I saw how they ended last year. I don't feel confident about it. They lost really, really good offensive linemen as well. I don't feel comfortable doing that. Ravens, I'd hear the argument purely because Lamar Jackson can be special, and we saw what he can do when he takes over the league.
Titans and Chiefs, obviously.
So you say Titans are better than the Colts?
Yeah. And I think the Chiefs are better than the Colts.
For sure. I would say Titans you are wrong on. Titans have a really bad defense.
Bert is he's going Titans, Jags, Colts, Texans in that order in the AFC South. I think you are too high on the Jags.
Yeah, he's a Jags fan.
You are unrealistically too high on the Jags.
He is biased towards the Jags. He roots for them. That is his team. I believe you're wrong about the Titans.
80 Poker feels that the Patriots belong there.
I'd love for them to be there. I'm not ready until I know who's playing quarterback, and if he's good at playing quarterback, then I can't tell you.
Well, listen, it better be Cam Newton, because if it's not Cam Newton and it's Mac Jones, something went wrong. I've been saying that since the time of the draft. Unless, obviously, Mac Jones just straight up beats him out for the job in camp. But if they start with Cam and wind up going to Mac, something went wrong.
So you don't think the plan all along is to have Cam start X amount of games until Mac is ready to start?
No.
You think the plan is Cam all season long?
All
Mac?
season. I think that is the plan. Absolutely, 100%.
Interesting.
Now, that doesn't mean that everything goes according to plan.
That would run counter to everything NFL teams have done over the past decade or so, and I know the Patriots haven't been in this. Well, he's had Tom Brady. So that's why they're in this position where it's like, are they going to do what everyone else has done over the past 10 plus years now? Of you draft a quarterback in the first round, he's going to be your starter at some point that first season. So you're maximizing the rookie contract, or are you going to let him sit the whole year?
I think Bill would prefer to have him sit and have Cam be the guy.
Okay.
That's just what I believe.
Like we don't know, and we don't know what his preference is.
Miami, come that bye week in week 5 or whatever it was, they made the transition to Tua in a way that, some other teams this year, whether it's Garoppolo and Lance or, Dalton and Fields, pardon me, or whomever, like other teams may potentially do that same thing. Like they may have an internal plan of like, let's get to the bye week and then we're going to usher in our future, our first round pick. I don't believe that's the way the Patriots are thinking. I don't believe that Varder/Carter Robinson here is on our page. I mean, he's high, you're high on the Colts, but he is next level. Says, I'm telling you this now, the Colts will be smashing teams this year. They're going to be just demolishing the NFL, 15-2 or better.
So we went through their schedule, Jeff and I have it.
Williams says Colts will be a wild card team if they're lucky.
I have it handy here. Let me see.
Danny boy.
Let's see. I have the Colts going 12-5.
I love that you still have that handy.
I got my notebook here. Good to have notes. Good to have notes. So then there's some countability here, Koff. Then I can write down, Koff thinks Colts will stink. Then I can say during the season, hey, you should have put Kevin Durant in your lineup when he had a 49-point triple-double and Kyrie was out and Harden looked like a shell of himself.
It was just so stupid. Like, it was dumb when I said it.
Yeah, and I didn't want to be mean, but it was dumb, especially for you. You know the NBA. You know Kevin Durant's good. What were you doing?
I was
touchdown.
Trying to maximize
That's
my
a big
elsewhere.
touchdown.
Cortland Sutton for 90-yard touchdown. Cortland Sutton. That is going to help those of you with a lock Sutton stack. My God.
Hey, this is suddenly a close game. If people actually got onside kicks in Madden, this would be a fun last 90 seconds.
Would you say it's suddenly a close game? Thank you. I'll be here for the next few minutes.
You're good, man. You're good. You've been here before.
This guy, OSU fan 3872, he's got that stack, and he's got a 4-point lead.
Heck yeah.
Ertz at captain, Sanders, Locke, Lindsey, Sutton, Goddard.
Here I am telling people never roster Locke, and the guy that's about to win the free roll has Drew Lock in his lineup. And this is why I will never win a free roll.
Dude, this is like, I did think about Goddard, and then I didn't do it. 3K isn't always involved, about half the sims. OSU fan and the other 6% of people that rostered him, you're experiencing the best day of Dallas Goedert's Madden 21 career.
William
5
Costco.
for 66, he's got about 12 points in the flex.
William Costco saying Ravens will finish as the top team in the AFC and finally beat the Chiefs in the regular season. Passing game's going to be really improved this season, and rushing will be just as good, if not better, as the Eagles recover the onside kick. Denver probably still going to use both those timeouts, but the game is likely over. William, I'm curious why you believe the Ravens will be significantly improving their passing game heading into next year. I'm not closing the door on it. I just want to know why you believe that. And Mr. Hill asking me to do my song, so here we go. Oh, Danny boy, the pipes are coming from land to sim and Twitch land. I would love for the Ravens to make a deep playoff run. Lamar Jackson, when he's at his peak, is so fun to watch. Like, how cool would a Lamar Jackson, Tom Brady Super Bowl matchup be?
Sure. I mean,
that'd be awesome.
A game, though. Like,
yeah,
deep
exactly. I'd love for that to happen.
Do something. And
William
also,
maybe
no,
is a
I don't need
Ravens
Tom
fan.
Brady back in the Super Bowl. Are we starting this again? I don't need Tom Brady back in the Super Bowl next year. He won number 7. He got it done year 1 in Tampa. Ha ha, Bill. Like, what? No.
It's hard for me to follow. It's hard for me to follow where you stand on the Brady stuff. I'm not gonna. I know that you don't actively root for him or support him, but you also like Tom Brady and are happy for him when he does.
Sure, but I don't need him to winning forever. At a certain point in time, it's not his fault entirely, but it pains me that the Patriots, like that he goes, they let him go. It's on them more than it's on him, but he goes and he's just win. I as a spoiled Patriots fan, admittedly, I don't need that. I don't need to keep watching him win. I want the Patriots to win.
William, I'd love for the Pats to get to the Super Bowl. I'm just trying to be realistic. Tampa Bay's bringing everyone back. Tom Brady now has a full off season.
Although I might have
CEO. William on the YouTube chat talking about the Ravens bona fides since they became a team in '96. Look, there has been very few teams that have been as consistent as the Ravens since they moved to Baltimore. So I feel you, dude. And I'm not saying they're going to be bad. I just want to know why you think their passing game is going to improve as much as you think it is.
You want to give out some awards?
What did you just go grab?
I'll show you when we get back on camera.
Let me take a look at the old free roll here.
Bizzle says the Madden curse is real. Mahomes and Brady might struggle. The Madden curse hasn't been a thing in like 5 years.
It's kind of gone away. Yeah, it's kind of gone away. I'm going to finish in the top 20. That's good.
Good. I will not.
I'll
Crystal ball cast. Marginal lead. We'll see if it holds. And, of course, stat adjustments.
I mean, is it lame to give it to Carson Wentz, who hit the bonus, owned in 63% of lineups? He's got 34 points in my captain spot. Eagles got the big win. Carson Wentz, big part of that.
I'll be honest. I don't entirely see how you go anywhere other than either Drew Lock or Jake Elliott, given the ownership.
Yes, yeah. Okay, we'll go Drew Lock.
Drew Lock is owned.
I don't think he has. I don't think I've ever given him a wooden nickel.
Drew Lock is owned in less than 15% of lineups and has 23 points.
All right, let's do it.
Make it 24 plus. He's just hit the bonus. He's getting even more now. Look at this. He's hammering his point home. 305 and 3 touchdowns from Mr. Lock. Lock it up.
Very nice. Okay,
Lock
so
it up.
who would you give the babysitter Billy to?
Let me tell you. Boy, Lock is closing in. He's got 27 and change. That might be one of Drew Lock's best games ever.
Your boy Marquise Goodwin had a bad game, but his ownership wasn't great.
Yeah, he was terrible.
He's drafted in 44% of lineups. Actually, that might be a good babysitter Billy option.
I mean, not that he's high 8 points, but Melvin Gordon.
44% is pretty high.
No, for sure.
Oh, you're talking about someone else.
Yeah. No, 44% solid ownership. Melvin Gordon is in 25% of lineups. He had half a point.
Okay, we'll go that way. That feels right. They did lose. They deserve to have the loser award. But valiant effort coming back.
It's very true. Daniel, obviously really focused on his work, has made a trading card for Goff's DVD wall. Sim Monument.
That's long overdue.
World's last DVD wall. Nickname, The Wall. Number of Sims, 700 plus. Technically, Daniel, that's not accurate. You may or may not remember, there was a long time that I did The Sims sitting on my couch. People didn't even know this thing was here for quite a while, but I'm here for the love. So I appreciate that. Homer team, DK Sim fam. Favorite NFL player, Tom Brady. This wall.
It probably should be Aaron Rodgers, let's be honest.
Excuse me. Michael says the documentary's in the works. We were talking about that earlier. The last DVD wall. Koff brings the voice, I bring the personality. Here's what I was going to show you. Me and my faux Tom Brady Buccaneers hate. I had this sent to me the other day, and how do you not display it?
Nice.
Tom Brady bobblehead on the boat.
Nice. I love that exists.
Yeah. Hi. Hello.
Good for Tom.
Look, when I hold it right there, it's like he's in front of the DVD wall.
Where are you going to put it? You got to find a good spot for that.
I'm just going to hold it here for every sin. Not going to move it. Hello. Hi.
That's good.
Yeah, you like that?
That's a good spot for it.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty good. Anyway. Okay, so I'm going to go watch Fate of the Future.
You know what, Koff? You take a sec. I'll read the schedule for tomorrow. Noon, Glash, Rossi, Seahawks, Packers. 2 o'clock, Chiefs, Raiders, Glash, Koff. 4 o'clock, Rams, Niners, Koff, me. 6 o'clock, Patriots, Falcons, Lamarca, me. 8 o'clock, Saints, Eagles, me, Jeff. 10 o'clock, Dolphins, Jets, Lamarca, me. Okay, there you go. That's the sketch. Koff, you good?
I'm great. Guys, remember, he just said it, but don't forget. Glash and I, 2 o'clock. And he and I get some crap to work out. So, join us.
Are you going to pay off the tease this time? I want blood.
We're going to fight, but there was all sorts of
losers.
Well, we might fight, but we might
fight.
I can't promise a fight.
Fight.
Because then it's
fight.
Then it's
fight.
like it's candy. It's not, it's forced. I want a nice
sometimes forced is good, Koff.
Yeah,
like Tom Brady's acting
in the standee thing. He had all sorts of questions earlier when he was on with BK, evidently. I'm going to address those things. All right. So, thanks for being with us, guys. Thanks to Mike. Thanks to Daniel. Thanks to the DVD wall. Thanks to Bert. Thanks to Bobo. They are one and the same. Thanks to Tom, who is, he might just sit there in front of the microwave until his 4 begins.
This is where I sit. Hey, yeah. I see that my lower third has been changed to DraftKings contributor. Am I officially a DraftKings contributor?
What were you before?
It usually says that I'm a podcast host from Vegas Insider.
You can be both. I mean, you are.
I am both
contributor.
I kind of don't mind
it. Daniel says it might be a mistake. With that, good night, everybody. Cool. Dream Stream comes your way in about 13 hours. Till then,
go drink some water.
I wanna. I finished it. I'm out.